you forget about making yourself happy. So now you're not only working for as something that you don't want to do, but you unhappy. And so when you unhappy, what they say, well, mama unhappy, everybody unhappy.
Everybody unhappy.
Oh, you really
Everybody.
are doing yourself and your kids a disservice when you don't allow yourself to be your authentic self and live in your purpose. And it's hard because we have been programmed a certain way. So the first step is that mind.
Hello, I'm Eric Collier, the Mayor of Motivation. As a motivational keynote speaker, veteran, and two-time Amazon International bestselling co-author, I bring a unique blend of inspiration, experience, and success to your event. I specialize in helping individuals unlock their true potential and break through barriers to turning the impossible into possible. When you choose me, you're not just booking a speaker. You're inviting a transformational experience that will leave your audience empowered and ready to conquer their goals. Let's make your event unforgettable. Reach out to me today at the number 1 momentumshift.com. That's the number 1 momentumshift.com. Because I'm somebody who believes that the largest gap an individual will face is the gap that stands between where they are now and what they could become. So the question becomes, are you willing to climb? The greatest trick the mind will ever pull is convincing you that your greatness does not exist. Mama used to say, she said, Eric, what you do in the dark will come out in the light. And she means that you reap what you sow. You get what you put in. And so you got to put the work in. Why? Because you're going to step your game up and tap into that untapped potential of yours and become the greatest person that you can possibly become. I woke up, I was about to lose everything. And so my wife was about to leave me, and that meant my 3 children were going to be gone, which really hurt me because I would fall short on a promise to my kids where I told them that I was their father. Nobody would ever be in the house taking care of them. Nobody would be responsible for them. They never had to worry about calling anybody daddy but me. Momentum shift. When you get stuck, you got to find a way to get going. And that is all about elevating your performance. You have to realize that high-level results are not products of low-level effort. So you got to step your game up. So you get stuck, you got to get yourself moving. And when you're down in the dumps, you're the only one that's going to be there. So you got to be your own hype man. What happens is when you don't realize that you have all that you ever need to create the life that you want to live, you're missing out. You're standing at the base of that mountain thinking and hoping somebody's going to save you when all you got to do is take action. Theodore Roosevelt said, he said that the credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena with their face marred in dust with sweat and blood. You got to get into the arena, claim your moment, take the opportunity to take your shot. Then when you're in that arena, think about this. I got to step my game up.
Eric's message was extremely powerful.
The power of overcoming is not just connected to you. You're rising because the people behind you are counting on you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
Hello and welcome to the Momentum Shift, a show designed to get you inspired, get you moving, because we want to get you some results. We want to get you living into the impossible. So I'm Eric Collier, the Mayor of Motivation, and I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I have a guest here tonight that is all about momentum shifting. She's purpose chasing, as a matter of fact. She's the CEO of Purpose Chasing Academy. She's the COO of Extreme Hip Hop Fitness, and she's kind of like I am. I had an addiction to the red light too. I'll let her talk about that. But ladies and gentlemen, she's a speaker. She's a strategist coach. I want you to welcome with me, Teri Donelson. Teri, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I am excited, especially about this topic. And I'm excited to be here with the motivation?
The momentum shift. Oh, the Mayor of Motivation.
The Mayor of Motivation. I knew it was something like that. The Mayor of Motivation.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Oh, man. So glad to have you joining me. And so before we get started, let's talk a little bit about we're gonna talk about the momentum shifting. How is that important to you, and how has it helped your life when you look at where you've come from, what you've done, and what you're doing?
Man, so that's pretty much a loaded question, because I believe that People main problem is that they don't have the momentum, so they stop.
Okay.
Right. So when I like to talk about one of the things that I did to come off my depressive state, and one of those things was being lazy. Now that's not something that's popular,
Right.
because we're in this society of self-care and take me time, but a lot of times we don't need rest. We need momentum. We need to move.
Yeah.
And when I didn't know what to do, because laziness really was disguised as procrastination. It was really, you didn't know what to do. You didn't know what direction to go in, for me anyways, right? And
Right.
so I had to realize that I had to keep moving. I
Yeah.
needed the momentum, because that momentum caused that traction for the next step and the next step. So momentum is so important. It's important for everybody, but it was so important for my life, because if I stopped, then I wouldn't be where I am today. If I let one little thing, that little piece of rock, stop my trail from going, my car from moving, if I
Right.
keep pushing, sometimes the car stops. You got to
Yes.
get in the back and push it. You got to get some momentum
Get
to
that
push.
bad boy rocking.
Okay. You got to rock it. So that momentum helps me continue to go to thrive in my purpose.
Yeah, I love that. So,
Yeah.
so let's talk about purpose. Now you brought it up. So you're CEO of Purpose Chasing Academy. Talk to me about Purpose Chasing Academy and how that came about.
So I have a background in mass communication, and
Okay.
I have a master's in business administration. Has nothing to do with what I'm doing today. A
Right.
roundabout way, God uses everything that you do. So that college degree gonna come in handy some kind of way.
Yeah.
But I was I'm from a small, can I take some time here?
Yeah, let's take some time. We got time.
Small, got some time. Okay, I'm from a small country town, right? And so I'm one of 8.
Okay.
Everything, my mom, we was poor. I'm talking about poor. We couldn't afford the O and the R, just the PO. That was it.
Oh,
So everything we did revolved around food, right? You
yeah.
got in a fight, you get a biscuit. You
There we
you
go.
got good grades, biscuit. You
Right.
somebody died, biscuit. So we was eating all the time. That's how we showed
Yeah.
up. That was
Right.
it. So I became, I was just my whole entire family, we were just overweight people,
Okay.
right? So somewhere along the way, like my mom, her whole her program for success, because she didn't want us to be poor like her. So
Uh-huh.
her program for success was, go to school and get good grades.
Yes.
And then you find that man at college, and
Oh,
then you get a good job, and you have kids, and you get married, and that is it. And you live happily ever after. You have that
okay.
job. And so I didn't think about what I enjoy doing, what I
Okay.
wanted to do as a little kid, what I was good at as a young adult. It wasn't about that. It was about, what can I do to make money and make lots of it so that I would never be poor. So
Okay.
what happened was, I ended up being unhappy, and I was using food as a way to fill that void.
Mm,
So because my history was eating with my emotions, when
yeah.
I was just working and being busy as a wife and as a mom and as a employee and as a church lady and all this other stuff, I was just depressed and eating, and ended up being like 283 pounds. Now,
Okay.
Eric, you
Yeah.
didn't met me in real life. I'm about
Yeah.
this big,
You
okay?
got that big.
283 pounds. I was around here looking
282.
like one of those Oompa Loompas.
Yeah,
Just look,
man.
I
Yeah. No,
just,
I would have
baby,
never imagined that when I saw you.
I was chunky, okay? I was chunky. I was still cute, Eric. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
I was still cute, but it was round cute, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And it just got out of control. And so I finally realized at that moment, and I talked to y'all about my Krispy Kreme addiction.
Yeah, that's what I talk about, that red light. I had that addiction too.
What you know about the red light? Where you at?
I
What
found
you know
I,
that what that red light mean?
yeah,
Every-
that red light being this hot, you got to get them while they hot.
You
Yes.
gon' and you gonna get a free one,
As
okay?
you look.
And you
So
know what? You can eat so many. Oh man, oh my gosh, I will crush
especially
them
when they're
Krispy Kreme
hot.
donuts. Yes, yes.
Okay, the people don't know about it. They're not ready for it. But I'm in when people trying to stay in the house in Cleveland, Ohio, because that's where I'm stationed at now.
Okay.
Originally from Texas, but I'm in Cleveland. In February, the blizzard, people staying in their house trying to get warm. Tari was
Yeah.
going to get some donuts,
Going to
okay?
get some donuts.
Waiting for that red light to come on. And I went off and then got that donut. And so when
Yeah.
I started to that point where I was just eating just to mask the unhappiness,
Right.
I decided enough was enough.
Yeah.
I started with my body, and the way that God is, he just such an awesome. He uses different circumstances to push you back to your
Okay.
purpose, right?
Oh,
So
like
I had this never knew what my purpose actually was, right?
Right.
Because I was told I talked too much and I was bossy. Those are
Okay.
things I've been told all my life, and
Right.
told as a negative. But what happened was those things were inside of me to be a coach to tell folks what to do for a living. They pay
Got
me for it,
you.
and
Right.
to speak for as long as I want to. So those
Yeah.
things that people try to make you think is a negative ends up being your purpose if you stay in alignment with the source.
So,
So
so
that's how I end up doing it.
I like what you said there. So let me ask you this. So for people who are out there who say, well, I don't know what do you mean by my purpose? What
Yeah.
is that? What does that mean? How do I find it? What do you can you expand on that a little bit more? Like
That's
what is a purpose? What is that?
What is your purpose? So your
Yeah.
purpose is something that you were born with. It is your assignment. Everybody on this earth has an assignment, and this world is a big puzzle,
Yeah.
right? And so
Uh-oh.
we all
Uh-oh. We
have,
about to be real good friends here. Go ahead,
yeah.
because I like this. Yeah,
You
go
like
ahead.
that?
Yeah.
This whole world is a puzzle, and we all have a unique piece. And no matter
Mhm.
how much you try to take this piece and put in that spot, it don't work because it doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
So what happens is that you try to put your piece into another piece of the area of the puzzle, and it doesn't work because you're trying to do something else, right?
Yeah.
So your assignment has to be realized, and that's why I feel like the world is unbalanced,
Right.
because people are not living in their assignments. And so if I can't do my assignment, then how can you find me to help you with your assignment?
Yeah. I
Right.
like that.
So a way I tell when I start coaching people, I have a program that we not only work on trying to identify your assignment. It's not easy sometimes because we have so many different limited beliefs, many lies that society and ourselves have put on us. Like my
Yeah.
mom, who told me that the secret to success was to get a good job
Have
and just
benefits and all that, right?
them good benefits, right? You know how they get a job, them good benefits, and you can retire
Yeah.
with them good benefits. And what happened? You
Right.
work to about 75, and then you don't have no more life to live. But anyways,
Right.
that's another topic,
That's
Eric.
a different story.
That's a different story. But when it
Yeah.
comes, I want to get back to your question.
All
When
right.
it comes to identifying, if you're at a point where you truly saying, Teri, I do not know what my purpose is. I really don't know. Your first step is to go back and write down everything that you have ever wanted. I don't care how ridiculous it is. I want to be a ballerina. Write that down.
Right.
Write down everything that you wanted to be ever in your life in whatever time period that is, because I feel like you can always start living in your purpose.
Got
So
you.
whatever that is, start writing down those things, right? On one side of the piece of paper. The
Okay.
middle sheet, I want you to write down what you are good at.
All right.
Things that you are good at, right? And on that third row, I want you to write down, what do people come to you and ask you about all the time, right? And then
Yeah.
I want you to start crossing some stuff off. Well, I'm good at that, but I hate it. You
Okay.
just cross that mug off. You know what?
Right.
Those people told me this, but I don't even like those people. Cross that off. So then
Right.
you start narrowing down what you have skills in
Yeah.
and what you truly love to do, and you start to marry that thing. Now,
Okay.
what people get confused about and where I come into play, like I'm gonna help you figure that thing out. It's an art to it. I made it sound
Right.
real simple, but
Yeah.
it's an art to it. But what I'm really good at is
Okay.
once you tell me and we figure out what your purpose is, I'm gonna help you make a profit from it, because I feel like God don't give you a purpose that you can't live off of.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Now, so everybody out there listening to the Momentum Shift today, I need you to go back, replay what she just said, and get that list together of things that, what is it again? Things
that you always wanted to do.
There we go.
Things you're good at.
Things you're good at.
And things that people come to you for all the time.
To get. And then contact her. She's going to help you make a profit out of it. You better find out.
I hear that.
Hey, the purpose chaser. I like it. What was it you said? I wasn't chasing money. I started chasing my purpose. Is that what you said?
Right. Yes. You get so busy chasing that dollar, chasing the paper, that you forget about your purpose.
Yeah. So you said something. I told you we're about to be real good friends, because something I truly believe from the moment we're born, our assignment is to put together this puzzle. It's a blank puzzle. It has no pretty pattern, picture, or design, but it comes from us. And so the first person that we got to connect, or the first piece that we got to connect, is us. And that's connecting with us, so we can, like you said, know who to connect with, know how to connect, and know where to connect. And I love what you just said about that. So I'm all hyped up now when you start talking about the puzzle. Like,
that was your jam, huh? That was your jam.
Yeah. You said that because I believe, I'm with you though. I believe that we get lost because we start narrowing down, saying it's only a path, it's a journey, it's whatever, but all of those things are part of connecting this puzzle, because we got to walk a path, we got to take a journey, we got to do all these different things to get this puzzle together. So I love what you just said.
Absolutely. You hitting it right on the head, right? But I wouldn't expect anything less from Mr. Motivation.
Watch out now.
Okay, come on now.
So how did you just decide that you were gonna go, and you said you were up to 280 pounds. And so how did you decide that you were just gonna, what was the aha moment for you that just really shifted momentum? I know you talked about being 280, and you talked about being wrapped up in your family and all these other things. What was the aha moment for you?
You know what? It was actually my mother. That probably was my aha moment. Okay. My mom, like I said, we've always been heavy people. But my mom is like she was 5'11", and she was heavy. I don't know how much she weighed, because women, they don't really tell their weights.
Right,
so I don't know how much she weighed, but she was heavy. But my family, we didn't have things like diabetes, we didn't have high blood pressure, none of that. Okay. We were just morbidly obese. I was diagnosed as morbidly obese because of my height and my weight. But my mom started getting to a point where it hurt her to walk. Oh, okay. She started getting to a point where then she started to get sick, and they couldn't contribute anything to her sickness and her body breaking down besides carrying that much weight on her body for her entire life. Mm-hmm. And so I have two little girls, and well, they're not little no more. By the time there was two little girls, and I just didn't want my kids to experience that. Right. Brother, I came home, and I was homecoming. I was on the homecoming court. My senior year, like I said, I come from a very small town. So I came back home with my brother, the football star. He was getting crowned homecoming king. Right. And so my mom needed me to walk him down the aisle. And that just broke her heart, that she could walk her baby boy down the aisle. And I said to myself, Lord, I had my kids. I started at like 26, at kind of an older age, right? Right. And I couldn't be the old and the big mama. I had to pick a struggle. And I did not want to leave my girls here early. My mom left us at a tender age of 65. And I did not want to leave I didn't want to leave my babies early. So I couldn't change my age. Got you. But I could change my body. Yeah. And that was still a process, Eric, because I had gotten down so small that they almost took my country card. I lost all my curves. And but no, seriously.
Look, I thought
You thought I was serious. No, but I
It's like,
really
oh, I thought you was like, you really got thinned down to a pencil and everything.
my country card.
Yeah,
No, but they
you gotta be careful. You get your country card taken.
okay. They was all like, "Where's your hips?" Okay, we
Right,
can't run through here with our hips. We from New
right.
Waverly, Texas. But
Yeah.
no, they I had got so addicted to the gym, and
Yeah,
I got caught up with some of these women who were very supportive. I don't want to take that from them, but they
right.
started giving me very unhealthy things to do. So
Okay.
when we went to weigh in, we
Mhm.
all hit our numbers. So I was doing diuretics I had never done before. I was
Okay.
on a 900 calorie diet, and I got
900.
down
Ooh,
900, but I was working out probably about 3 hours a day, weight training.
wow.
I wasn't losing weight. I was losing my mind. I was
Yeah.
losing muscle mass. Like only thing saved me was my weight training.
Okay.
But I had got down to about 140, which is very small for me and the way I want to look.
Got you.
So I had to realize at that point, that was my aha moment, that Teri, it's not about being skinny or what society thinks that you should look like. It's
Right.
about you being healthy and happy. And
Yeah.
so I came to my happy medium where I actually designed this clothing brand that said, respect the curves. Because I
Yeah.
tell women, as long as you love your body, you love your curves, they don't gotta like them, but they
Yeah.
gotta respect them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so my aha moments was with my mom, and
Uh,
then with me getting too focused on getting skinny. And
got you.
that's not what I needed. Yeah,
Yeah. I love that. When you said that in your speech, you said it was respect my curves.
that's right. You gonna
I
respect these
love
curves.
that. Yeah. And so did you ever see yourself where you are now when you look at, I mean, you're a motivational speaker, you're a coach, you're a CEO, you're COO. I mean, did you ever see yourself like that? What is it now, the freedom that you have or that you feel when you wake up in the morning compared to where you were?
So, first of all, no way would I ever thought. I come from a background where my name was on light bills and gas bills and credit cards before I was even at the
Ah,
house because my mom had to do what she had to do. She wasn't out there, putting our names on stuff for fun. This
right.
was to keep the lights on and the
Yeah.
gas on, and so
8 kids, you probably got to find a way.
she had to find a way. And
Yeah.
so and that's another subject of forgiveness.
Yeah.
And you, like, I don't know if your mom used to say this, but baby, keep living a little longer,
Yeah.
and you'll understand by and by.
Yeah.
But the fact that I own two businesses,
Yeah.
with coming from a credit score of about 480.
Okay. Wow.
And then having no business background, and
Yeah.
then it being a fitness company, no way.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get my body I was just trying to get healthy, and I ran across a dude who owned a gym,
Uh-huh.
and I saw potential in him.
Okay.
And just like most things, and I'm skirting around your question, but I'm gonna get to it, I
You
promise.
good? I'm following. I'm gonna bring you back.
Bring me back, because I'll go over there. Bring me back. I'll go right to that Krispy Kreme light. So bring me back. But yes, so I found a dude, and he was just a gym owner.
Yeah.
And I was so inspired by the way that he pushed me to push myself past my limitation, because like I said, I come from a big family, and we felt like we couldn't go to the gyms until we got skinny, which is kind of
Right.
like going to the hospital after you get well.
Yeah.
And so he pushed me. And so when he decided to try something new, I was all like, that's a stupid idea. You ain't gonna be able to do that. Nah, you
Right.
probably can do that. And so he's like, no, just hang with me, Therese. So he started this whole, step thing.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember step back in the day, but they was doing flips and somersaults, and it looked too hard. I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna try it. So he started that, and he didn't know what he was doing. And so he took his class, me included, and we grew with him, right?
Okay.
And we were just having fun working out. And it wasn't about, you know, looking at somebody who didn't know what they was doing. Everybody was a family.
Yeah.
And And so when people started looking at this and like, oh my God, that's such a dope thing you're doing, come to my town. And so at that time, his name is Philip Wheaton. And he was all like, I ain't doing that. I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna stay right here at this gym. If they want to see me, they come to me. He didn't have a name. That's how he was. And I'm like, Phil, you are awesome. You are amazing. You inspire people. Like you can do this. And he was like, no, T, I ain't gonna, baby. I'm gonna stay right here. If they want to see me, come to me. So I'm like, cool. Well, let me help you out. I'm gonna set you up a YouTube station so at least people can see what you do. I can help you out. And so he like, you could do that. I'm like, yeah, I got you. I'm gonna help you. And so eventually he was all like, hey T, you said you could help me. Can we have a meeting? So he called me and this other girl who does like the websites. And he was all like, I think I want to try to make this a business. And I'm like, bet, I got you. So it started small. I set him up. I started his scheduling. We named the business. So like literally that business started from his table, and we like, no, you can't use that name, Phil, because I watch exercise. Insanity goes with Shanti. You can't use it. I'm like doing this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And eventually I had to convince him of his potential, which is crazy because when I tell you, if you saw this dude, his energy, his, on the outside, he looks so confident, but when you get to know him and his mindset, it was a lot of work that had to be done there. And eventually, your purpose is bigger than what you think.
There we go.
And it took somebody to push him. And while I was pushing him, people was all like, Teri, what did you help him? And I'm like, yeah. Hey, can you help me? Now here go me. I don't do that. I ain't gonna do that.
Just what you told him not to do.
Right. I don't coach people. No.
Right.
But can you come talk to my group? No, I'm not a speaker. I don't speak.
Yeah.
What? So while I'm helping him push him into his purpose, people trying to pull me into my purpose. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Pick somebody else. And so during COVID, when we all asking for 2020 vision, and then God set us down and gave us time to look at the
you need it.
Come on now. God, everybody talking about God, give me 2020 vision. That's what we're praying for, 2019. I need 2020 vision, Lord. Help me decide what. So God said, you know what? Y'all all too busy.
Yeah.
Everybody sit down and figure out what I need you to do. So I feel like 2020 was a way for God to recourse direct everybody that would listen back to their purpose. So now, Eric, when I tell you, I wake up and I'm excited because I know that what I'm about to do today is going to help somebody else figure out their piece of the puzzle so that we can all win.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So every day. And then some days, you know what? I don't feel like getting up and I don't got nobody calling me, asking me where I'm at. And did you put in request time? Okay. So come on now. Because I make my own schedule. So I don't have to call in on nobody, but that freedom to be able to be creative, that freedom to be able to take a step back, to have a mental day, to have a me day. It's just beautiful. And I wouldn't have gotten to this point had I not taken a step back, had I not listened to other people and allowed God to speak through them and me really sit down and hear him like I've been telling you this. Okay, real quick. You remember that story of the person out on the boat in the lake? Have you ever heard that story?
Yeah, I think I heard it first. I heard it was on Pursuit of Happiness. If it's the same one, I don't know.
Okay, they in the boat and they stranded, and so he like, Lord, please send me help. So then somebody come with a big towboat and they say, hey, do you need help? He said, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. And then somebody come, and they said, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. And then somebody come with a little. He said, no, I'm waiting on the Lord. And so Lord said, what you waiting on? I ain't sent you three different options. What are you waiting on? And I feel like that's how it is when people with their purpose. God has already told us what our purpose is.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the way, situations happened, jobs came,
Yeah.
that trickery of the job and the benefits came, and you pivot away from your purpose.
Yeah.
But then you have these things and people telling you can't go back. You too old to pivot back. But I pivoted at 36.
Right.
Okay. And I thought that was old then. Now I'm 46. And I was like, dude, that wasn't even old at 36. But you can always pivot back to your purpose. It is never too late. And it really is always the right time. And so I love it. I love entrepreneurship. But I do want to tell people that just because it's your purpose, don't mean you have to be the owner of a business.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Some people feel like that you have to be a CEO or you have to be the owner. Sometimes your purpose is to be the COO. Sometimes your purpose is to be that support for somebody sometimes the neck is what you're supposed to be and not the head.
Right.
And so that's why you got to realize what your purpose is. Everybody can't be the edge of the puzzle. We got to have some middle folks as well. And you got to know what your position is, but know that God can still make that stuff profitable as long as it's packaged correctly.
That is true. It can always be profitable.
That's right.
I love it. So, man, you touched on a couple of things in there, and I think you mentioned how he was like you're saying, oh, you need to go, and he's like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stay right here. I think a lot of times when we get stuck in that situation, we fallen for the mind's greatest trick, where it has convinced us that our greatness doesn't exist. And even though people are calling for it, or even though the opportunity presents itself, we can't even reach up and grab the hand that's given to us. So I think it's good when you have somebody in your corner to push you towards that. So, and I think too, you mentioned that you talked about the mindset of lack. Like how can that talk to a little bit? Because I know I found myself, oh, I'm not a writer, I'm not this, I'm not that, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. But aren't those really the reasons that you should be doing these things?
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you gonna that whole scarcity mindset, because let me tell you something. People found some dollars for the Beyonce concert. No shade to Beyonce bees, the beehive. And this ain't no shade to you. I'm saying that people will say, I don't have the money. But they find the money for what they want. You invest in what your interests are in. And
Let there be a party. Let there be an anniversary, a birthday party, Christmas. We're gonna find some money, like you said, Beyonce.
Baby, let me tell you, when they spend mortgages on the Beyonce, on me and the hive, and no shade, baby, you better get your but like I just heard Dr. Cheryl Wood say, Beyonce have her legacy. You got to build yours, and we are so content with looking good, but not working on the interior. Right? We got to start working on our development, and I'm not ashamed to say I've invested plenty of money that I didn't have at the time on my skill set. So when I went to the piece where let me start off by saying, when I first started with Extreme, baby, I was working, scheduling his stuff for pennies. Okay, for pennies. Okay, I saw the vision, and so I was all like, no, once we start making money, then we start putting out money. But I was working for pennies, and every weekend I was grinding, trying to find places for him to go. He was popular, but he wasn't popular.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I didn't have much money, and I quit my job, my good job with the benefits
with
in
the 2000
with the two girls in 2015 is when I stepped out. And I just was all like, okay, I got enough money to make sure my bills are paid, but I was trusting God that he was going to make a way that I was going to get a return on my investment. But when I started to when the pandemic happened and we didn't know nothing, we couldn't travel no more. We couldn't move. I was all like, we got to figure this out. We got to figure out something. So when it comes to that lack of, I don't know, Eric, I didn't know nothing about managing I
Okay.
didn't know nothing about starting a business from scratch, but let me tell you something about the internet and some determination and motivation. If you don't have no money, you're going to figure out a way to find out what you need to find out enough to get it started.
Yeah.
That whole myth that you got to have it all together before you can start your momentum,
You're
before
right.
you start moving, is a myth and is a lie from the pits of Hades.
Hello, I'm C. Eric Collier, the Mayor of Motivation. As a motivational keynote speaker, veteran, and two-time Amazon International bestselling co-author, I bring a unique blend of inspiration, experience, and success to your event. I specialize in helping individuals unlock their true potential and break through barriers to turning the impossible into possible. When you choose me, you're not just booking a speaker. You're inviting a transformational experience that will leave your audience empowered and ready to conquer their goals. Let's make your event unforgettable. Reach out to me today at the number 1 momentumshift.com. That's the number 1 momentumshift.com.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to have it all together.
No, it's never going to be a perfect time. It's never going to be a perfect moment. Everything's not going to line up right. You just need to get it started.
And right. People have been talking about, I'm a fast and pray. I'm a pray and fast. Yes, but God said faith without works is dead. You're going to have to do a
Exactly.
little bit more than just fast and pray and
Right.
fast.
Yeah.
You know what? That's to me, and it's no, like I don't like to use the word shade, but it's enlightenment. But if you have the faith that He's already figured it out. He just needs you to move. He don't need your help for a whole bunch of stuff. He needs you to get on the path. You don't got to see what's at the end of that road, but he needs you to start walking and trusting that it's something at the end of that road. And that's why I tell my clients, you got to trust this process.
Yeah.
Because my process is not your process, but I promise if you start walking in your purpose, it's going to be all right. So what you don't know, you got to start moving. And then you got to move into some rooms of some people that know, because that's saying that if you're the smartest one in the room, that you're in the wrong room. Yeah. I don't ever want to be the smartest, the one that got all. I need to be in some room with some people I can bump elbows with. That's gonna get me in that position. So that mindset of I don't know or I don't have, I'm gonna get into the room where I can get with somebody that's going to help me to fill the gaps of what I don't have, what I don't know. But I'm not going to go into the mindset where I can't go into a room until I got it. What's the point in going to it then?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why I'm going in there now?
I need to go in there.
I need to go in there when I need to, because I know I'm going to bring something to the table, but you're going to scooch over so I can share your piece. And then I'm gonna give you a little bit of my piece, but we're gonna all come to this table, baby. But you gotta make some. I love your whole thing. You gotta get some momentum behind that shift.
Yeah, you
got to. That shift ain't gonna happen without that momentum.
Exactly.
You got to get some shift behind it. So that whole mindset, it starts with. It really does start with your past. You need to figure out where that came from. Because scarcity was mine. I wouldn't charge what I was worth, Eric.
Okay.
Because I come from a poor background, right? So I'm like, I don't want people to have to, I don't want people to have to pay. But when I realize people gonna pay some money for some hair, you're gonna buy some lashes, you're gonna get some red bottoms, you can pay me too.
You can pay, exactly.
You can pay me too. So that whole mindset. But I would say that if you don't know, don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to accept help. I talk about that a lot. The ego will mess you up. That ego will mess you up. You have to be okay with not being the smartest one in the room, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So we met at the National Press Club.
Yes.
And I walk in there and I'm beaming because I'm in the room with some great people. And I didn't know everybody, but just sitting there learning about you and listening, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm loving this. So what did that do for you to walk into such a prestigious place? Now, I mean, you say prestigious, we've got all these people, the presidents and political figures and I mean, celebrities, athletes, and they're speaking, and it's not some place that you can actually get into, right? So it's tough to get into. What does that feel for you? I mean, say for you, like, what is that? You know what I mean? Because like, oh my gosh, I'm in this place.
Yes. I was all like, Mama, I made it.
Right. It's a kind
Mama,
of
I made it.
it's a kind of a made it moment, right?
I did. It was such a an honor. First of all, it was an honor being selected, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we
heck
can,
yeah. One of
okay,
20?
we can pat ourselves on the back,
Yeah.
okay, first of all, and
Yeah.
then not only being able to speak on that stage, but to come in contact with such great
Hmm.
talent,
Yeah.
to be rubbing elbows with people like you and the different people in our, I mean, and then let's just, Pam Perry is the dopest PR
Is
person
she
that I
awesome
think
or what?
is
Oh my
alive,
God.
the dancing queen, okay,
Yeah.
herself. And so the
Yeah.
amount of people that she's helped, but yet she was still so humble with us.
Yeah.
Like I was beaming. I don't know about you, but I'm still on a high
Oh, heck
from being on this, being interviewed. Nelson Mandela. Can you
right.
can you say Nelson Mandela was on the same stage that we was
Yeah.
on? Like, come
Yeah.
on now.
Yeah.
It was such a rewarding honor. That's all. I wouldn't even, that's probably the word I would use. It was such an honor. And
Yeah.
like I said, the chemistry of our group, like I just wanted to be around y'all and just soak up
Yeah.
the energy and the knowledge that some of y'all been shifting, right? And I'm kind of new to this whole speaking
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, y'all dope, and I'm here with y'all. Like,
Right. I was
so
like, it's over. It's over so soon.
I was all
Yeah.
like, we can have one more day. Like I was suggested that the other day. But yes, it was such an honor, and
Yeah.
I'll be forever blessed to have been with you guys and to have experienced that. And it'll be something that I will remember, and best believe on Throwback Thursday for probably the next 10 years, that's gonna be some on my Throwback Thursday.
And you know I'm with you too.
Right.
So when you talk about momentum shifting, right? And you talk about what you do, now it has to start for you first, right?
Yes.
Everything it starts with you first because you've got to change in order for anything else to change. So what's your why now? Because I always talk about when you create a momentum shift, it's about you, but it's not about you. So why do you do what you do? What drives you?
That's a good question, Eric, because I think that we stay so focused on the why when we started that
Yeah.
we forget to re-examine why we're still doing it, right? So
Yeah.
that is an awesome question. I guess my why, my very first, I have two.
Yeah.
My very first why is these two little girls I have.
Uh-huh.
I want them to always know that they can do whatever they want to do. I even preach. I went to college. I got my bachelor's and my master's. But college is not for everybody. But
Right.
a plan is for everybody.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to school, but you need to have a plan, and then you need to execute that plan. So I want my girls to realize their mom is a boss. I
Right.
went through a divorce, and I want them never to feel like that they have to shrink themselves to be loved. They
Yeah.
shouldn't have to shrink themselves to make someone else feel worthy. They shouldn't have to shrink themselves to just be whomever they are. As long as they are walking in their purpose, I
Yeah.
want them to know they will always be successful. That
Yeah.
it's not about chasing that paper, but
Not
it's
at
really
all.
about chasing your purpose. So those two little girls, Tara and Riley, shout out, are my first whys. And
Uh-huh.
my second why is, as much as I love Philip Wheaton, who
Yeah.
is my very first client, the fitness world is about 98% women. I tell men all the time, like, if that's what you're into, you
Right.
need to be a trainer, because it ain't nothing but a bunch of women trying to get themselves together.
Right.
But we are the majority. But
Yeah.
the names that you see in lights, the owners are mostly men. You
Okay.
got Billy Blanks, you have Shanti, you
Yeah.
don't have too many women. And so I wanted to start helping women become dominant in this field that we are dominating in as far as the demographic. And I realized that they were awesome. They just didn't know how to package what they were doing.
Gotcha.
And so my whole reason why now is no shade to men, but I need my women to realize you don't have to be just good at something in order to be successful. You really can live in your true assignment, live in your purpose, and you deserve to, and be successful at it, right? You don't have to just be good at something so you can make this money, but you can be good with your purpose and be successful and thrive. Now, am I saying I don't work with men? Absolutely not. I do work with my dudes because I love men too, right?
Yeah.
But my demographics is women, and I do it for my tribe, and my tribe is us women folk. And so I do when I have a woman who say, Teri, I was lost. Like, I really didn't know where to start. Like, I knew I wasn't happy. I knew that I was feeling unfulfilled, but I didn't know where to start.
Yeah.
And because of you, I'm on the path right now to killing the game.
Yeah.
You can't beat that. You just can't beat that feeling. So as I grow older and I get that feeling, it's not so much about the dollars. The dollars gonna come. That paper gonna come.
Yeah.
But when you are truly walking in your purpose, man,
yeah.
every day you can get
that's
up.
what I say I like about coaching is that aha moment, right? Because there's that moment where when you start working together and they're clueless and you can see it. Nobody really, they're just like, well, I don't believe it's not going to work. And then all of a sudden things start happening for them. The momentum's going, they're getting some successes here and there. And all of a sudden it's like, boom, it's possible. Yeah.
You just see the light bulb come off. That's a beautiful feeling when you can see the light bulb come off. Like I'm sure some of my coaches have seen that light bulb come off. If your coach don't have a coach, get a new coach.
There it is. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you so true about that one. So what would you say to the woman out there who is, because I always talk about your loyalties, right? Our loyalties keep us from moving forward. And our loyalties to organizations, our loyalties to people, our loyalties to things, addictions, right? Those things keep us from moving forward. What do you say to the woman who is so wrapped up in her belief that I can't do anything because I'm a mother, I can't do anything because I'm a wife? What do you say to that woman? I can't do anything because I'm all of those things.
Right. And that's another good question, Eric. Did you write these out before? You didn't did this before, ain't you, Eric?
No.
You did this before a few times.
There's a couple of times.
That's a good question.
But I talk, my parents split when I was 4.
Okay.
So I grew up with my mom. So it was 3 of us. So grew up with my mom. And I watched her struggle. I mean, it was I always talk about the government cheese and government bologna, right?
Yes.
And milk. So, been there. My brother and I had 2 pair of pants. One was his, one was mine.
Okay.
So I understand how this worked, but I got to see my mom go from cleaning houses and working at night at the railroad station to where she was running for housing projects, right? She was the lead there. She was in charge. So I've seen that, but it has to be that something that mom has to say to herself that you could probably share. Look, that you're more than what you are.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they need to hear. Yeah. And I try to tell women that it's actually selfish for you not to live in your purpose.
Okay.
It's actually selfish of you not to give the gift of you to the world.
Yeah. So
when you are dimming your light, because that's what you really are doing, because we shine from the inside out. When we are living in our purpose, we shine. People, you can see some pictures of me back in the day when I was depressed. I look like I was 50 already.
Okay.
We shine when we're living in our purpose. So as a mom, the greatest gift that we can give our kids is to show them that anything is possible, that everything is possible as long as you are living in your purpose. And if you're living your purpose, then we all know that everything works for the good. I ain't gonna preach, but when you're living in your purpose, we know what that means, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually selfish. And sometimes as moms, we have to hear that, because we've been told to be a good mom is about sacrifice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We've been told that sacrificing is what being a mother is all about. My mama, and which I'm sure your mama didn't have brand new clothes.
No.
Mama sometimes wasn't hungry at night, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
she didn't have enough food to
Mm.
feed herself and us. So
Yeah.
we were brought up with that, being a mother, and then especially being a Black woman. It's selfish for us to want to think about ourselves first. It's
Yeah.
selfish of us to think about what brings us happiness versus what's going to bring money in the house.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's really not selfish, because once you start focusing on that dollar, you forget about making yourself happy. So now you're not only working for as something that you don't want to do, but you unhappy. And
Yeah.
so when you unhappy, what they say, well, mama unhappy, everybody unhappy.
Everybody unhappy.
Oh,
Everybody.
you really are doing yourself and your kids a disservice when you don't allow yourself to be your authentic self and
Yeah.
live in your purpose. And it's
Yeah.
hard because we have been programmed a certain way. So the first step is that mind.
Yeah.
Before you can do anything else, and people, oh, that's cute, mindset, such a catchy
Yeah.
little phrase. But
Right.
that's the truth, Eric. It
Yeah.
starts with your mindset, and you have to get that icky thinking out of your mind
True.
before you can really. And it's a learned behavior, so it has to be an unlearned
Yeah. That's
thought
so true.
process.
And you think about it, we go back to that phrase, that Bible quote, right? I can do all things, but then you turn around and you don't.
Mm-mm.
Right. So
Right.
yeah, so that's where you see that you got to have a transformation, right? You say that, but you don't believe that. So why aren't you believing that, man?
Mm.
Then you talk about
Mm.
what you create, how you were created. Come on, man. You're in the
Come on.
created in the likeness. So
That's
and
right.
now, right? So
Now
you're
you want to put
designed to
limits on
win.
God.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
yeah. You designed to win. He didn't put you down here to make him look bad.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
That's right. He
Yeah.
wants you to be the ambassador for him. How you gonna be an ambassador and you up here mad at the? Let me tell you something about people that be working inside of they outside their assignment.
Okay.
My mom. So my oldest, the oldest sibling is a girl,
Uh,
and my sister had to comb my hair every single morning before school. My mama was at work.
uh,
She used to pull my head.
mm,
She used to make it extra
mm,
hurtful
mm,
because she hated to do my hair.
right.
And I equate that to people who you are living, you just became good at it. She was good. My hair was always laid. It was
Yeah.
always cute.
Yeah.
She put me through so much pain
There's some
because
pain
she
to it.
hated to do hair. It was not her gift. It was
Yeah.
not her passion. And so
Right.
you hate it, you make everything around you hate the fact that you're doing it. You are taking
Exactly.
out on everybody. And so inadvertently, people who are living outside their purpose, they're not happy. And if you're not happy, I don't care how much you fake the funk, it's going to come out some kind of way. And with me, it came out with me going to Krispy Kreme and eating 6 lemon filled
Yeah.
donuts 30 minutes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scarfing them down on my way home, just driving and eating, trying to hurry up so all my kids couldn't beg for them
There
when
it
I
is.
got to the house. It was just ridiculous.
I'm with you. I was there. I was there. I say I was so stuck in my mental quicksand. That's where I was. The alcohol, the eating, you name it. It was so many different masks that I was wearing. So, yeah, man, it's just feels so good though to be out of it. It's so good.
Free.
Feels so good. And that's why I do this show, the momentum shift, because you got to make some changes. You weren't designed to stay where you are right now. You're not supposed to end up where you're at right now. So I think there's so much more that we got to do. And I always say that, you when you're at the top of one mountain, you got to climb another one because you're not done yet. And so, and man, it's so many people right now are living on their success of 20 years ago. They haven't done anything since 20 years ago. That was it. I accomplished it. I got my degree. I got this great job. I'm done. I'm just trying to ride it out right here. And they got nothing to talk about. They got nothing to be happy about, but what they did 20 years ago.
Mm.
I love what you're doing right now. because you're continuing to climb that mountain, and it's a beautiful thing. Where can we see you? So you had SpeakerCon this week.
Yes.
SpeakerCon this week. So
Yes.
what's next for you?
Oh my goodness. So next is I'm hosting a Purpose for Brunch.
Okay.
And my purpose for brunch is, when people started getting ready to be outside, they want to be outside.
Yeah.
And so brunches were popping up all over the place, but it was a brunch. Brunches were just, we go, we network, we drink. And so I was like, wouldn't it be dope if I could bring women together where we network, but we worked on our business plans, where we worked on the next quarter, where we worked on the next year, where we worked on our mindset a little bit. So my purpose for brunch is an opportunity to come with other like-minded women, and we sit down, we do a little, I do a little teaching, we do a little application, they have workbooks, and they start to write out their plans for the next quarter or the next year, wherever we're at. But they start to work that out. And then I do some laser coaching with them right there. So it's a purposeful brunch. It's not all about mimosas, but it's getting ourselves ready for the next quarter of our life.
If you come in there thinking you're going to drink mimosas and sit down and not participate, you're in the wrong place.
Right. So we may have some mimosas later on, but it's after you didn't wrote out your plans, okay?
Right.
We can't be doing, we're going to have coffee and orange juice. And then probably like the last 30 minutes, we'll celebrate with some mimosas, but I need your mind clear.
There it is.
So it will be December the 17th in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And I am excited. This is the second annual brunch that I am doing. And I'm just excited. I do trips. I do my step cello conference is 500 instructors from around the world, but this is a little more intimate. And I'm just always excited to pour into women.
So where can they sign up?
It would be on all my social media platforms. You can find information, but you can go to teridonelson.com. And Teri looks like Terry. My mom was trying to be fancy now. It's TeriDonelson.com. And you can find out all the information about the Purpose for Brunch there.
All right, cool. So is there anything that you'd like to leave the audience with?
Eric, first of all, thank you so much. This was amazing. This was so, like, the time flew by, right?
Yeah, it did.
I would just like to say, to anyone who feels that lack of joy, and you get to a point where you sitting at night or you sitting in your car for hours at a time, you just unhappy.
Yeah.
You can't find your joy. I just want you to know that you deserve to be happy, living in your purpose. You deserve to be successful, financially successful, living and working and thriving in your true assignment. So stop playing games because time waits for no one, and start chasing your purpose.
There we go. And connect with you at what is it, Teri Donelson?
It is. It looks like Terry, but it's TeriDonelson.com. Yes.
Connect with me.
It's okay. It's confusing. My mama was trying to be fancy. She got a little accent on the I. Yes, she do. Yes, she did.
I knew that too. Oh man. So cool. Well, I want to thank you for joining me. I really have enjoyed it. Like I said, I caught your speech at the National Press Club and I loved it. And then checking you out on doing my research on your website and your YouTube and stuff. I love your message. I love what you're doing for women. I want to encourage you to keep going because you truly are a momentum shifter. So I love it. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a great example for those two girls and two young women. So yes, I love it. Keep doing that you're doing. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. And this is the Momentum Shift, a show designed to get you moving and get so you can get results, because we want you to start living in the impossible. So you got what it takes. Like Teri told you, dog it. Like Teri told you, you have what it takes. You just got to go ahead and start working and living in your purpose. So until next week, I want to thank you for joining me. I'm Eric Collier, the Mayor of Motivation. Take care.